ਬ੍ਰਿਟਿਸ਼ ਕੋਲੰਬੀਆ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਟੇਟ ਆਫ ਐਮਰਜੈਂਸੀ ਦਾ ਐਲਾਨ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਗਿਆ। ਇੱਥੇ ਹੁਣ ਯਾਤਰਾ ਸੰਬੰਧੀ ਕਈ ਪਾਬੰਦੀਆਂ ਲਗਾਈਆਂ ਜਾ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਹਨ। ਦਰਅਸਲ ਪਿਛਲੇ ਦਿਨੀ ਬ੍ਰਿਟਿਸ਼ ਕੋਲੰਬੀਆ ਦੇ ਕਈ ਹਿੱਸਿਆਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੋ ਭਾਰੀ ਬਰਸਾਤ ਹੋਈ, ਉਸ ਦੇ ਕਾਰਨ ਕਈ ਲੋਕ ਪ੍ਰਭਾਵਿਤ ਹੋਏ। ਹੁਣ ਬ੍ਰਿਟਿਸ਼ ਕੋਲੰਬੀਆ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੌਜੂਦਾ ਸਥਿਤੀ ਨੂੰ ਧਿਆਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਰੱਖਦਿਆਂ ਸਟੇਟ ਆਫ ਐਮਰਜੈਂਸੀ ਦਾ ਐਲਾਨ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਗਿਆ ਹੈ। ਇਸ ਬਾਰੇ ਬ੍ਰਿਟਿਸ਼ ਕੋਲੰਬੀਆ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰੀਮੀਅਰ ਜੌਨ ਹੌਰਗਨ ਦੇ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਸਾਂਝੀ ਕੀਤੀ ਗਈ ਹੈ। ਉਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਗਿਆ ਕਿ ਬ੍ਰਿਟਿਸ਼ ਕੋਲੰਬੀਆ ਦੇ ਹਾਲਾਤਾਂ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਉਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਪ੍ਰਧਾਨ ਮੰਤਰੀ ਜਸਟਿਨ ਟਰੂਡੋ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਕੀਤਾ ਗਿਆ। ਹੁਣ ਬ੍ਰਿਟਿਸ਼ ਕੋਲੰਬੀਆ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਕੀ ਹੋਰ ਅਪਡੇਟ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਆਈ ਹੈ, ਆਓ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸੁਣਾਉਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ।
Great, thank you very much. And as you know, we are here assembled on the traditional territory of the Lekwungen-speaking people, the Esquimalt and Songhees First Nation. The last few days have been incredibly difficult for British Columbians as we've experienced yet another natural disaster. Heavy rains, strong winds, flooding have devastated entire communities of our province. Thousands of people have been forced from their homes under evacuation orders, and many others were left stranded between road closures and mudslides. Yesterday, the RCMP confirmed the mudslides have claimed at least one life. That's devastating news for a family. It's devastating news for all British Columbians. But sadly, we expect to confirm even more fatalities in the coming days. Yesterday, I spoke to Prime Minister Trudeau. He offered to provide assistance where needed to help us respond to the immediate disaster, as well as working with communities to rebuild going forward. The province has now formally requested that deployment of federal resources, including the armed forces, to assist with evacuations, managing of supply chains and resupply chains, security in inundated areas, as well as restoration of safe drinking water and other logistics assistance. I'd also want to thank the governments of Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Ontario, who were immediate in their offer of assistance to help in any way they can. Minister Popham will talk about a practical example that is going to serve us very, very well in the short term when she has her opportunity to speak. Multiple highways remain closed throughout BC. We're working diligently to assess the damage and make sure that we can get those supply roads back in shape as quickly as possible. But the conditions are severe, and it's essential that we work on these corridors in a way that makes safety our highest priority. And this means essential and emergency access will be limited in the days ahead. Already strained supply lines are at risk of greater disruption. Therefore, as of noon today, the Government of BC is declaring a state of emergency. The order will preserve basic access to services and supplies for communities across the province. We will bring in travel restrictions and ensure that transportation of essential goods and medical and emergency services are able to reach the communities that need them. Please do not hoard items. What you need, your neighbors need as well. We are confident that we can restore our supply chains in a quick and orderly manner, provided we all act as we have been acting over the past 2 years, responding to challenges like this in a collaborative, cooperative way to make sure that everyone can come through this in one piece. These are very challenging times. I don't need to say that I've been at this dais over the past 2 years talking about the challenges we've faced. Unprecedented challenges with public health, wildfires, heat domes, and now debilitating floods that we have never seen before. I spoke last evening with Mayor Linda Brown and her team in Merritt, and over the past 6 months, we had drought conditions in Merritt where the river was at its lowest point in living memory, where we had people evacuated because of wildfires raging in temperatures that were unprecedented. And now we have the entire community underwater, safe water and waste treatment not accessible to citizens. Despite that, the resilient people of Merritt, who have been evacuated not once but twice in the past number of weeks, stand ready to work together and cooperate with their neighbors and communities right around the region to get through this. The decisions we've made today have formed a working group of cabinet that consists of myself as the chair, Deputy Premier Mike Farnworth as the vice chair, Minister Popham, Minister Fleming, Minister Rankin, Minister Osborne, as well as Minister Robinson and Minister Ma, to ensure that we have expertise at the table on a daily basis. But this is an across-government response. Everyone will be pulling together. There's not a person that hasn't been affected or will not be affected by the events of this past weekend. We need to, as British Columbians, as we have done through the pandemic, as we did through wildfires in 2017 and 2018 and again this year, at almost every turn when we've hit crisis, British Columbians have rallied. They've rallied because of their resilience. And for those who understand and recognize that these events are increasing in regularity because of the effects of human-caused climate change, there is hope in terms of the roadmap to 2030 that we've developed here in British Columbia and the leadership that Canada is showing on the international stage to bring the other 7 billion souls on this planet to the position where we can understand that we need to act now to make the changes in our community and in our economy that will protect us from these types of events in the future. I'm now happy to pass the podium over to Minister Farnworth, who will walk through the events of the day, and then on to other ministers to update you on the circumstances in their various files.
ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਜੀ, ਮੈਂ ਨਿਰਮਲ ਮਾਨ ਪੂਰਾ ਟੈਕਸ ਸੈਟਲਮੈਂਟ ਤੋਂ। ਇਹ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ ਟੀਵੀ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ। ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹੇ ਹੋਰ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਭਰਪੂਰ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਦੇਖਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਟੀਵੀ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਚੈਨਲ ਨੂੰ ਸਬਸਕ੍ਰਾਈਬ ਕਰੋ ਤੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੇਠ ਦਿੱਤੇ ਹੋਏ ਬੈਲ ਆਈਕਨ ਦੇ ਬਟਨ ਦਬਾਓ। ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ।